Hey everyone, Commissioner here, back with some steep.
Shut up! 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 Shut up!
Okay, I guess we can talk about something other than steep. How about some music visualization games? Okay, I know what you're thinking. Audiosurf on Darude Sandstorm. No, I'm not a big fan of audiosurf. I just couldn't get into it because it just didn't have enough interaction. However, I do have a list of 4 eye-melting games that work with your music, so the gameplay is always dynamic and always a new experience. First up, let's talk Polynomial. Polynomial is a strange, surreal, and acid trip of a game, and I'm hard-pressed to call it a game as much as I want to call it as an experience. It's set in what you would consider space, and the stars, let's call them, are set to the rhythm of your music. Now, just a quick aside, I didn't want to get DMCA'd to hell, so the music we're using, we own the license to it because it would be hard for me to show you a game based on music without the music. There are only about 10 songs that come with the game, so you will be using entirely your own music to get value out of this game. Anyways, as for the gameplay aspect, you're basically a little ship cruising through the galaxy, picking up some power-ups, shooting evil Pac-Man that want to eat or shoot you. That's basically it. I know you're thinking, that sounds really basic, and it is. But that's not really what the best part of this game is. It has a myriad of options to customize your galactic level, from how it is formed to how it interacts with your music, and yes, this is your personal music. If you recall, back in the old days, many people would set a visualizer to their music on their Windows media player, and this is basically an interactive version of that. You can change basically whatever you want to this, plus modify the gameplay, control, mirror the images, panorama. Honestly, the options table is fairly intimidating at first. The good thing though is that getting music uploaded to the game is instant and simple. You can upload individual songs, group them all together by lassoing them on your desktop window, or if you have a playlist file like a .m3u, you can do it through there. Polynomial gives you a great way to almost live in your music's world and sort of interact with it in a way no other game has approached. I can say this is just a great and enjoyable experience if you want to listen to some music and just be very laid back and chill with it. The gameplay is optional. If you just want to take out the enemies and just sit there, you are free to do so. It's truly a beautiful and unique experience every time. It's around $10 on Steam if you want to buy this, and the second game as well. I haven't played the second one, but it does have VR support. Worth checking out if you are into that sort of thing. Otherwise, it's really just a beautiful game and would be really cool to basically have playing in the background at all times. Just a suggestion for what you can do with it. Again, there are no limitations to it in the sense of the visuals and the songs that you can basically use. It supports all the different file formats as well, so that's also kind of a big bonus. Other than that, it's basically just a great thing to maybe have playing in your background, whether you just want to chill out. Just take into effect that this isn't so much, I would say, a game. A lot of people, I think, had a lot of complaints that it didn't feel like a full-fledged game, and its point isn't really to be that. It's, again, just a way to interact with your music, see some really cool visuals. I've seen some people compare it to Winamp's Milk Drop, I think that's what it's called. And again, this just gives you a nice way to see your music in a completely different way, and each song completely changes how it looks, and you can make some really cool patterns too. So again, take some time and just enjoy this beautiful rendition of a music visualizer game that you can interact with. And I guess if you can and you can pick it up, get the second one as well. Doesn't hurt, and it's not that much more expensive, if anything. Next up is one of my favorite games, and this game is Symphony. Symphony runs on your music as well. You basically scan the files, the game analyzes it, and creates the level. You pick the difficulty level, you outfit your ship with whatever weaponry that you want, and basically you're ready to play. One thing about this game though is if you have a lot of music files, it will take a bit of time when you first do it, and you have to analyze each song before actually playing the level. However, it doesn't take long. My biggest complaint with it, however, is unlike Polynomial, which works from your folders on your desktop, Symphony just kind of lumps them all together and can be a nightmare to find that one single song you're looking for, since it doesn't really include any sort of folder system. However, you can find it in the filters, but if your songs aren't tagged properly, it will be extremely difficult to find. One other thing is that when you complete a song, it just doesn't continue to the next one. You have to select another one, which is kind of odd, but makes sense because you have to analyze each song. But I would have loved to have some endless play or seamless kind of transition between each song. That's my only gripe though, so let's get back to the good stuff. There is a light storyline behind this. It's basically your music is corrupted by demons and you're trying to free it from this sort of evil Beethoven Bach boss character to collect something called Symphony sheets, which basically just allow you to unlock higher difficulty levels. And let me tell you, because the enemies and speed are based on your song choice, it can get insane quick, with enemies coming from behind you, in front, from the sides, all directions, shooting at you, and speeding around. It's a hell of a game. It's tremendously fun, and you can do many different things with your ship's weapons, like upgrade them, mix and match, change firing directions to shoot ahead or to the side or behind. Basically, the more songs that you play and complete, the more weapons you unlock, and points and kudos, which is like its in-game currency. Each song is a different experience, and if you find it too easy, as you get further along, you can unlock some crazy difficulty levels which add more and new enemies to test your new weapon layouts. Weapon-wise, there are railguns, shotguns, missiles, a subwoofer, which is actually a beats per minute weapon based on your music. Overall, the programming of the songs is pretty good. It really keeps up with it and is a huge step up from audiosurf. Symphony, I think, is around $5 on Steam and is severely underappreciated. Pick this game up. I can't recommend it enough, as it's really a great way to integrate your music into a bullet hell style game. It does come with its own set of songs, but just like Polynomial, you'll really want to be playing with your own and just getting a new experience and a new feel each time, ramping up the difficulty levels. If you want to play through the Fire and Flames, be my guest. Again, the myriad of different options and kind of available things that you can do with this is also compelling. And unlike Polynomial, like I said, this is actually a game. It's nothing other than, I would say, a game. Again, the only drawback being that you are not able to just seamlessly play from song to song. It's something that I really wish that I could do without having to always kind of switch levels and go back, but otherwise you will get some great value out of this game. You want more games? Seriously? Okay, let me just see if I got something. Okay, I got something great, because I got here Beat Hazard, which is actually almost like 3 games turned into one, because Beat Hazard turned into Beat Hazard Ultra, which is kind of an add-on with some new features, and Shadow Operations, which added new ships that function differently in the game with different abilities, perks, and drawbacks. But let's just get into what Beat Hazard itself is all about. It's like Symphony in the sense that it's a bullet hell style game with a ship that shoots and things explode and is based on your music, but somehow it's very different feeling. I know these games like spaceships. This is like the gameplay of Symphony paired with the visuals of Polynomial, though it's absolutely mental. There are tons of options regarding the visuals, since you will be blind after playing this for too long on the highest intensity. You can pick your ships, add bonuses or complete mission objectives, choose your difficulty, and get right in it. In fact, this game just blasts your music as soon as you start it. And it's not a game that rests. You have lasers, missile pods, deflector shields, and even an atomic bomb, all while taking on asteroids, ships, these mega frigate things, and even space worms of some sort. There are different modes you can play, from single songs, in a single level, to continuous play with no breaks in between, boss attacks, which is basically just all the worms attacking you at all times, and there's even a survival mode. Using your music is extremely simple, and it can be done in-game, or you can use your Windows folders to do it that way. It takes no time to upload, and they're all just there for you to use, and it plays instantly. However, there is a drawback, and that's the song integration with the gameplay. It's not always great. In this example, I actually played Skrillex Bangarang on insane difficulty, and this is basically what I got. I sped it up, obviously, but here we're looking at a different song. I got the challenge I was looking for, and I noticed some music does better than others, and it's not particularly because it's any fast or anything, so that can be kind of extremely disappointing and underwhelming when you load up a level for the song that you've chosen for. But overall, this is a fun run and gun game that connects to your music and has all the options you would expect from a music game. You can even customize your own ship and make one of your own if you want. You can basically customize everything to do with your ship, from its speed, from the weaponry it has on it, and basically you can just create one in Microsoft Paint if you really wanted to. I just uploaded a file photo, and bam, there's my corporate branded ship. And the upload feature is something that I am sure so many users are going to use responsibly, and definitely not use it for any sort of nefarious purposes. I recommend you pick this gem up. It's only $10 on Steam. It claims to be cross-platform as well as multiplayer, but I haven't seen any players on, so I don't know how it was at its peak when it first came out. But then again, you are trying to play your own music, not somebody else's. So I don't know how that would work exactly unless the other person had the same song as you. Also, you can do it locally, which is a plus. There is a sequel to the game, Beat Hazard 2. I haven't played it, but it does share some split screen and VR support. But oddly, it took out the online multiplayer. I have no idea why. However, it does support premium music streaming, so that's a bonus for those using YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, things like that. At the end of the day, this is a little gem from the Steam community that basically perfectly describes what this game feels like after playing it for, I don't even know, just one song or two on highest visual intensity. Okay, but that's going to be it for the music. Seriously, you want one more? Okay, I have a bonus, and this is hard for me to fit in because technically it's not like the others at all, but I won't get a chance to tell you about it otherwise. We're going to be talking about Inside My Radio. Now, it's not a music visualizer game, but hey, wait a second, stick with me. It's gameplay that is attached to music, complete with other little side games and boss fights. What I mean is that you don't use your own music. You use the game's created music to perform actions using a metronome sort of style process, whereby you can perform certain actions based on the beats per minute. If that doesn't make any sense, put it this way. You can only perform certain actions every half a second or so. So you need to time everything out carefully. What makes this game really unique is that every move you make and action you take adds another layer of the music to the game itself. They say never play on mute, and it's fairly true. Hearing the music helps you perform the actions correctly and on time. And there are 3 characters you play as they have their own kind of style and level of music. One is this electro EDM style, the other is disco funk, and of course dub/reggae. It's an extremely unique game that is a fun little platformer. I've played through it a few times and I've enjoyed it every time. In terms of making your own music, as they claim, it's more tied to some of the limited choices where you can kind of choose the layer of music or not that you will hear while you play the game. The levels themselves, just like the music, are pre-created and you will be following a certain path, but it's not a bad thing because it's very fun and a unique premise. Around $15 on Steam. I would recommend getting this, but more so on sale just because of the limitations on it, and it's really only, I'd say, about a 2-hour game at the most. I think I beat it the first time about an hour and a half. But that being said, you won't be disappointed if you're just looking for a fun new challenge. I just wish there was a little bit more to it and a little bit more from it, if anything. Otherwise, that is going to be it for all the music visualization games that I know of so far. I know I didn't talk about audiosurf 2, but it's so similar to the first audiosurf. Obviously, a lot of people already know about it anyways, but if I do find some more that are based on your music, I will be sure to let you know. I absolutely love playing these things. They always make my day, but otherwise, I'm just going to keep banging my head against this keyboard because I guess you could say that I like to play it by ear. If you get my meaning, you know? Play it by ear because it's music.